Hi everyone, welcome to V Celestial Tarot. This is the love reading for the month of July for all of my Virgos out there. I'm going to try to keep it open for whatever messages need to come through for singles, couples, or anything in between. So let's dive in. Just something that came in my head before I even picked up the deck. It's like some of you are worried or you just have a question that you really want answered. And hopefully I'll be able to answer those questions during this. But some of you, I feel like, are worried, and I hope we can dive into that and hopefully calm any of those worries that you might be experiencing. But yeah, okay. There's a few cards I want to jump out at this moment. Angels, what messages we have for our Virgos out there? Okay, this is very some of you are reminiscing about what it was like to be single. So for anyone in a couple, I think some of you are kind of wondering, do I need to be on my own again? And have been stuck in your head. Like it's been, if this is the answer you were looking for, like I think you really do know that you might need to be on your own for a little bit. So, like all the signs might be pointing in that direction. And it feels very weary and uncertain at this point. Like I think you're going to get your answer, and this probably I might have said this already, but this might be the answer you were looking for. It's like the clouds are finally clearing and everything is making a little more sense now. Yeah, some of you have really, I think some of you might have been thinking about like maybe reminiscing about like when you were single and you're like, I kind of liked that energy, I wish I could go back. Or some of you might feel really isolated in whatever situation you're in right now, and you're kind of like, I'm having a hard time being on my own. If you're, I don't know, the couples are coming really strong right now. It feels like you are the one who fixes things constantly. Like you're constantly taking care of other people, and it's like exhausting at this point. Like it just feels sorry if you hear my dog barking right now. Some of you are really struggling with that right now, and trying to figure out like how to deal with that. Like it feels heavy. Let's pull some more cards for clarification. Can we get clarification on these cards, please? Please, angels, let's get some clarification for our Virgos out there. Okay, yeah, that card really wanted to come out. All right. This is okay. This has been a trend for a few people out there. Like almost every one of my readings has had the Eight of Swords, and for me that means like very stuck in your head. It's like, I don't know if you've been like anxiety might be keeping you up, but just like these obstacles, just like either if you're in a relationship or you're talking to someone new, it's just like things keep coming up, like problems keep happening, and it's kind of exhausting at this point, and you're like, fuck, like I'm over this. And then the Empress, it's like that for me is like strong sexual energy and confidence, and I feel like maybe that's something that you once had, and maybe you are struggling to reconcile with getting that back into your life. You're like, okay, well I used to be this really confident person, and like I don't know why my identity is shifted now, like I don't feel as strong as I used to. But then the Ten of Cups showing up, it's like very interesting. Oh, that is so interesting. We'll dive into that a little more. You gotta trust yourself. Sorry, I just heard like you need to trust yourself. Like you need to put the confidence back into who you are. Like that's how you're gonna overcome and find the victory. Like I think some of you in this relationship have forgotten that relationships should be an equal give and take, and you are giving too much and you're not getting much in return. And once you figure out that balance of like refinding your power, that's when you're going to find success. Like it doesn't mean that you have to walk away from this person, but maybe this is the upheaval that you need. Maybe this is the answer that you need. You guys need to have an open and honest conversation about this. Okay, yeah. Alright. I just got so sad. Okay, so the devil, you could be dealing with a Capricorn, but also for me, it's like there's some behavior that needs to be changed, and I don't know, it doesn't necessarily feel like malicious, like manipulative. It feels like, it just feels like this person takes a lot out of you. Like they're mentally exhausting for you sometimes, and you just don't know how to kindly tell them that, like, you need to also protect your mental space. Like maybe you are both going through it, and instead of focusing on like how you can heal, you just focus on how you can heal them. But then that creates a bigger snowball of issues. Finances, I think some of you are feeling financially stable, and that's also something that you need to tap into for rediscovering your independence. Like once it, I don't know if this might be a very specific message, but some of you might feel that like once your finances are taken care of, like that's when you feel strong about yourself. That's when you feel confident going forward. And then the Nine of Swords, like, yeah, this feels very heavy, like late at night. I don't know if you get anxiety about this. Like, I feel like, but also when I first saw that card, it felt for me like very strong sexual energy between the two of you. But at a certain point, you're like, this isn't how we can thrive. We can't continue. A relationship can't only build on sexual energy. Like, we have to get past, like, that might be really strong, but there's other things that might be lacking in this relationship. Okay. Okay, there's a few messages. Yep, manifestations. Water. Okay, wow. It's very interesting. Okay, you've had a lot of major arcana in this spread. So the Magician is like, you are manifesting. You have a really strong, like, some of you have really strong manifestation skills, and you know what you want. You just need to put it out into the existence. Like, you need to speak it into existence. So honestly, for me, with all of this, I feel like you are getting out of this energy. Like, you are crossing the threshold into the month of July. Like, there might have been a lot of heavy energy of like, I'm questioning, doubting this relationship, I'm stressed out. But then July is when you finally are like, okay, well, this is when we're gonna resolve. Like, all the resolution is coming. And the Queen of Cups is like, for me, that's emotional stability. That's like confidence in like who you are, understanding your emotions, really conquering that. And then, yeah, the financial stability is also coming in. So, like, that might have been something that you were struggling about. Like, that felt key to your, your identity, in terms of, like, maybe some of you have been affected by this pandemic, that you haven't been making money, but then July is when it gets back on track, and you're like, I can feel better about myself, because maybe you had a role as, like, the breadwinner, or whatever. I hate to use those very problematic terms, whatever, but, like, I think this is like you recapturing that. And then the Chariot is like messages coming forward. You guys have a very strong guiding angel spirits, because for me with the Magician and then the Chariot, it's just like good things are going to come to you. The messages that you've been waiting for might be coming forward. Or the conversation that you've been waiting for is finally going to happen, and it's going to be good. It's going to be the conversation that you've been lacking with your partner or whoever you're currently interested in. Or if, for singles out there, some of you might have been really wishing for someone to come back into your life, and July is the month when this finally happens. The Tower, transformation. Again, whatever needs to be worked on needs to come from you. It needs to begin with the inner work and the inner healing within yourself. Like, I think you need to take a step back and assess, like, what is it you want in a relationship? How do I, like, what is my ideal relationship? To have the Tower, like, people think the Tower card, it's like a sudden change and upheaval. But also for me, that means that, like, it's the idea that things fall apart for better things to come together. Like, that's what this is. Like, the hard conversation might happen unexpectedly, and you're gonna have to focus on, like, moving forward. Like, it's like going right into the storm and being ready to talk about it. Like some of you might be running away from your emotions, and this is the moment where you're like, okay, well, we're going to talk about this. We're going to change shit. Things are going to change for the positive. Let's get some final messages for you, Virgos out there. Yeah, I'm thinking a lot of you might need the time by yourself. July might be very, very good for your own like inner healing and introspection. Yeah, for me, the Three of Pentacles means like building the foundation. So some of you have been missing something, and the month of July is going to be that transformative healing that you need. Okay, I'm going to pull some love oracle cards and see if I can get some more clarity on the month of July for all our Virgos out there. Okay. Oh. Okay, then I'm going to pull one more card. Okay. So I have been kind of interpreting these 3 cards as 3 separate messages for someone out there. So the first card is the Sword and the Rose: clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, power. So I think that goes really well with the Tower card. The Tower card, because it's like something might happen suddenly, but it's like that's going to provide the clarity that you've been waiting for. Like that's going to actually help that whatever is happening transform and bloom, if anything. Then we have the runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening, ego. And that might be the clarification that you needed of just like, I've been thinking about, in the first few messages that came out of like, I've been thinking about being on my own, like reminiscing about that. There might be a fear of intimacy that you need to talk about or really assess in the month of July. It's just going to keep coming. It's just going to keep hitting you like, all right, well, obviously this is an issue I need to talk about. So how do I begin this conversation and healing for myself? And then the final card is talking, interested, conversing more, awaited message arrives, text, call, email, hovering, which I think works really well with the Chariot card that came out earlier. Possibly, I feel like that one really resonates with the singles out there. Okay, those are the messages. I'm sending all my love and light.